So after understanding what water does to the body, then let's understand how we lose water, how the body loses water. Because you may say that I took enough water yesterday and I don't see where I've lost it. So why should I take more water? Water is lost every day, and let's see how it is lost. Number one, we talked about water being lost out in terms of urine. The kidneys, through the kidneys, we lose water. And research has shown that in a day, one can lose up to around 1.5 to 2 liters of water in a day. That is a healthy person, leave alone somebody who is diabetic. For diabetics, the loss of water is a lot. But for a normal person, you'll find that you are able to lose water, at least 1.5 liters of water in a day in terms of urine only. As I had said before, for your fecal matter to come out, it requires water. So it has been estimated that 300 mils of water is lost with the fecal matter. As you go to defecate or as you visit your washroom, remember that fecal matter is coming out of with some water, and so the body is able to lose around 300 mils on average. This is for somebody who is not diarrheaing. Just a normal person defecating maybe once or twice in a day, you are losing around 300 mils of water. That which is lost through fecal matter is a loss through the colon. And then also from our lungs or through our lungs, we lose water. The air we breathe out comes with some misty appearance, especially in the morning. You are able to appreciate that you are when you talk or when you yawn, there is some mist that comes out of your mouth. That is water being lost through the lungs or as part of your breath. And through the lungs, we are losing around 200 mils of water. And then through the skin, remember, the skin, we lose a lot of water in terms of sweat, and we lose around half a liter, that is 500 mils of water, is lost through the skin. Skin actually is part of one of the largest organs in the body. The largest organs in the body, with a lot of surface area, so it's bound to have a high water loss. We are bound to have high water losses through our skin. Up to that extent, you realize that you're losing the total water loss in a day for a normal person is about 2.5 liters of water. That is still, we have not mentioned for somebody who has been annoyed and is crying, because the tears also come out in terms of fluid, and that fluid is water. For somebody who is sick and may be vomiting, for somebody who is pregnant and may be vomiting in the morning, the water loss is increased. So let's appreciate that there are certain areas or water is lost even beyond the skin, beyond the lungs, and also also beyond the fecal matter, and that also therefore calls for additional, or the reason for which or why we need to take water. So endeavor to replace at least 2 liters of that water which has been lost, so that the remaining 500 mils we can receive from our fruits and also from our fruit juices and even from our porridge. But pure water that you should take in a day on average should be at least 2 liters of water. Will be able to do you much better. So water is very important, and without water you can have the following complications. How do you know that your body is dehydrated? How do you know that your body is dehydrated? One, you'll have a dry mouth, so that you try to speak and you feel like the saliva is too thick. Then you know that is a time that the body is telling you that I'm dehydrated. Another thing, you'll have a headache. It's not malaria, but you're feeling a lot of headache, especially on the frontal region. Then the body is crying that I need water, I need water. To some people, even concentration and mood can tell you that the body requires water. So monitor such cases. And I want to say or to tell you categorically, my dear viewer, that dehydration can cost you a lot. Dehydration can take you to hospital. If you're not persistent in your regime of taking water, then you'll find that sometimes you may suffer from kidney stones. Kidney stone is just a concentration of the filtrates, which at some point, if there's not enough water to flush them out, becomes too concentrated, too thick, and start forming crystals. So for you to avoid kidney stones, take in water and ensure that your body is hydrated enough. And with that, again, you may find that you are suffering from kidney failure, not because of any infection, but just because of your neglect in taking your water. The brain can swell in cases where dehydration is, especially for young children. You find that if a child has been diarrheaing for some time and the parent is not keen, then the brain swell, and the same thing can happen to grown-ups. So dehydration can lead into swelling of the brain, and once the brain is swollen, it cannot perform its duties well. To very extreme cases, you'll find that some people may have seizures. Seizures are like fists. Somebody convulses just because of lack of water or dehydration. So let's take water seriously. How much of water should one take in a day? This has been a frequently asked question. How much water should I take in a day? Of course, I know that you understand that many a times 8 glasses per day has been advocated for a long time, but that is just an average measure. An average measure in order to fulfill the 2 liters. Otherwise, there is no fixed amount of water that somebody should take, but it should depend on an individual in terms of what work have you been doing. Somebody who has been indoors, just maybe sitting and watching TV, may not need the same amount of water as somebody who has been walking outside or who has been working in the field.